Okay, should be recording. I just want to see the file. I see the file. Okay, we are continuing in Far Cry 3. And this has been a crazy week. I counted, I think it was like 37 different news things that I could write up. I didn't write up all of them, but yeah, it's a long Friday thing. And where am I going exactly? What am I doing in this? Because remember, last week it wasn't this, it was, going up there. Going medieval. That's the name of it. Huh, being down here doesn't look very good. Alright. But yeah, so it was an overwhelming amount of news, but I got through the bulk of it. I mean, yeah, somewhere it's like, yeah, it's not interesting enough. Well, not interesting enough to be like, yeah, I'm gonna spend even more time working on this. We're already, you know, how many pages in? Yeah, but still, some neat stuff. One of those things. Hey, yeah. How am I getting out of this? I have to follow the road. One of those things. I'm just looking at. Okay. Just trying to refresh my mind on what all is there, and even though I literally like just wrote this up, I still want to refresh it. One thing that probably plenty of people are gonna be happy about. Okay. So long as they don't try to attack me, I don't care. But at least now I know where they are. And my brain just turned back off. NVIDIA has moved up the release of No, you don't. I think you guys shot me. Alright. Oh. What? How's it full?
I will show you how a true warrior fights! Trust me! Hey! I have no fear! I'm hit!
There we go. Yeah, fine. I want to take the money. I've got no idea how I'm full, though. I'll be honest. I guess he doesn't have any money on him. Okay, so is this damaged? Okay, yeah. I've been wanting to do that on something, just to, like, make sure I actually know how it all goes. So yeah, what I know I was at least trying to say, maybe I finished, I don't remember. It's been a weird, busy week. Anyway, yeah, NVIDIA has moved up the RTX 4060 release from July, sometime, we didn't have a firm date as I recall, to June 29th. Maybe I'm going the wrong way. I just remember what it is I wanted to do in this video. And it's not going there. It's not going to Herc. But going this way is fine. Sorry. I wanted to work on that stuff, so there. Start getting access to more of the signature weapons. Yeah, so June 29th for the RTX 2060, that is the $300 GPU. Which it will be interesting to see how that stacks up. Because I remember one criticism I had for coverage of the 7600, AMD's RX 7600, was a lot of people constantly comparing it to the 4060 Ti, which makes sense for it having just been released. But it was also we're talking about a $270 GPU against a $400 CPU. Sorry, GPU. Why would anyone do that? Like, it really didn't make sense and did not seem appropriate to me, but that's what they were doing. Did I buy up the ammo? Okay. So yeah, the 4060 is the one that's going to be the more appropriate to compare. At least based on price, so. Okay. This way. Actually, how far away is it? Oh, it's not far at all. Okay. The 16 gig 4060 Ti is still for in July, so yeah. It will be interesting to see how some things end up stacking up, and also how AMD responds to some stuff. No, it is still... what was it? There was something this week where somebody was criticizing again the whole, why has AMD not announced, release the 7700 and 7800 series GPUs, whether it's just like that or the XT versions. And it is definitely odd that they've still not done anything there. But who knows? There's any number of things that might be going on there. Like, I think it was last week I did mention... Might have been something else I was recording though. Okay. So yeah, I need to find them in here. So, that there had been a rumor that Navi 3 had a hardware level issue that was just keeping clock speeds down. Like the 7900 XT and XTX should have been clocking like higher, but AMD found it too late to do anything. To try fixing it. Okay, that must be it. Oh, duh. I completely, utterly forgot. That's fine though. Okay. You know where the thing is though, so that's awesome. But there had been speculation that the Navi 32, because the there, I'm not gonna be able to hit it from this far out. At least not easily. But that maybe the Navi 32 variant, which would be what's in those there we go. Would be in the 7700 and 7800. That those might be fixed. Those might not have the issue. So, no idea if that's true. But it is still a possibility. That would be pretty neat. Alright. What was that it? Yeah. Alright. There. This for now. Where's the next one? I don't know what I can get out of those, so I'm not going to worry about them. I have one over here. Yeah, let's fast travel. Yeah, but those, the 7700 and 7800, are the ones that will be more appropriately compared to the 4060 Ti's. And also 4070. 4070 is already out, though, so... Oh, yeah, hang on. I crafted that. I also wanted to use one. There it is. GOG Summer Sale's going on, but that's going on until July 3rd. There is a new giveaway, though, at the moment. So you may want to check that out. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the game. It's not one I'm familiar with, but that can happen. They've got a lot of old games I'm not familiar with, but also some old ones that I am familiar with. Yeah, it's a little... So, as part of this sale, they have added a best games by the decade, essentially, of each decade. Okay. Which is really neat. But looking at it, it's like, I remember these games. Ah, well. I'm not that old, but I am also old. Like, I'm old enough I can remember putting save games on a floppy disk. Now, true, only a 3.5 inch, but yeah, on a floppy disk. You know, the whole how some people... A floppy disk is just what the save icon looks like for some odd reason. Yeah. But it's still, you know, it's neat, it's nice to see that sale. And actually one of the things I saw they listed among the best of the 90s is Warcraft 2. Which makes sense. That was a very good game. So was the original Warcraft 3. I have not seen the... I've not done anything with the remake. Yeah, Warcraft 2 was definitely a classic, and it's awesome that... Ah, that looks like it. It's awesome that they, that GOG was able to get that. Wow. That thing just wanted me dead, and it succeeded. I've also got some Steam news. Also Intel. Fair bit of Intel, actually. They have changed... Well, they have announced the changing for their branding, their CPU branding coming up. Some of it... I mean, honestly, I don't care too heavily about branding stuff, so long as it's not, like, stupid levels, which, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, but the best example I can think of for that would be NVIDIA doing the whole Super series. But, you know, that's not really what... Fortunately, that did not become the norm. Yeah, so Intel is... They are going to have a Ultra and non-Ultra level, where Ultra is... I'm assuming that that's basically... I mean, this is nuts how much damage it does in a single attack. Nope. See. Where did it go? There it is. Oh, fine. Okay. I keep doing that. I don't know why. Yeah, so we're going to have non-ultra, which it's interesting. They didn't specifically call this out, but the badges indicated that we still have the number tiers, the 3, 5, 7, and 9. Those are still there. But the non-ultra goes just 3, 5, and 7. The Ultra has 5, 7, and 9, which makes sense. Ultra is supposed to be targeting in the most advanced clients, while non-Ultra is more mainstream. So I assume that that's basically going to be... Well, I don't know. I really don't. It is odd. Yeah. And I'm not sure what exactly their plan is. So yeah, I want to find the blue leaves if I can, which I know are in water. And I also flew over a bunch. Okay, that may actually work out, because the river nearby might have some. And I think I want to try building those up. Try using those. Yeah, there's some. Perfect. Only one. Lovely. There. There's also a bunch of those because I'm probably gonna need them. Did I say they're dropping the I's? So it's not gonna be the I3, I5, I7, I9. It's just gonna be 3, 5, 7, 9. Which that I'm okay with. I also do like that they are dropping shotgun. Okay. So I'm gonna have to change out a weapon. You can change out this one. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think I at one point got one of these where I used a car and just rammed into the thing, but that counted. Don't remember though. Anyway, they're also dropping the generational thing. So like when I write up that, you know, this laptop has an Intel processor, I don't need to write up that it has the core, the 12th gen, Intel 12th gen Core i7 12700 HS or something like that. I think that that's a legitimate one. I don't have to write all that up, which makes sense to drop the 12th gen from there. Although this will be for 14th gen with Meteor Lake when that comes out. But it's like, good, we're finally dropping that because we don't need it. It's in the code number. I was like, it is redundant. So if you know how to read the code number, it's there. And I'm sorry, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect people to read code numbers. Well, some stupid ones, some silly ones that both Intel and AMD are guilty of with their mobile stuff. But they're just normal, like, you know, recognizing that 12, the first numbers, so 12 in this case means 12th generation, or 13th means 13th generation, 14 means 14th generation. It's like, yeah, we can expect people to understand that. But yeah, I didn't see anything, though, talking about how certain aspects of it will work out, such as, so AMD, all the Ryzen CPUs can be overclocked, or unlocked. That is not the case for Intel. It was only the K series that could be. So I do wonder how that may or may not change. Oh, no, it's already dead. Although, that was one. There's a different one, because it still says animals remaining one. Although, 2, so I guess there were multiple bears to hunt. That's what I needed. Come on. I guess I can't. But that's also not a problem, because it's only bear skins. This way, somehow. Okay, seriously, how am I getting... Here it is, okay. Yeah. I almost had some good news. This is not in my notes, but I almost had some good news concerning the, issue I've been having with the audio interface. There was a new driver update. Installed that. And it was better for a while, but then it stopped being better, so... it did take my gun. That's fine. I'm gonna be fast traveling somewhere, so... Here. I don't know why. It's now locking the cursor, and I don't recall it doing that before. Here. Okay. Now, equip it. There. Back. Okay, I'm just... Take a moment, Okay. Just pulling up the thing for the signature weapons. Got that, don't need that, got that. Yes, I am curious about this one. 20 relics. Okay, for the advanced sniper rifle, the signature sniper rifle. Shotgun would have been 10 relics. Okay. Well, here, let's... Do they show up on the map? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay, then. Let's... What? Didn't realize I never picked up the memory card here. But I'm just gonna start collecting that stuff. So yes, this is a map clearing episode, by the way. A map clearing part. Deal with it. Okay, where is it? Ah. I kept only seeing the television there. Yeah, so the Intel marketing stuff, they... Intel also had news with a, new... quantum processor, which don't read too much into it. It's a 12-qubit, which IBM has certainly already beaten. IBM tends to do that in basically everything. But it is a 12-qubit, spin qubit to be specific. Oh wait, no, 120. I thought it was saying 20, like I needed to find all of them for the sniper rifle. But and it is made in silicon, with CMOS methods, but Intel's intent with this, and hang on. Tunnel Falls. I wanted to make sure I got the name right, because I did put that in my notes, so I would get it right. There we go. The idea is to make a quantum processor, even if it's not a very powerful one, but still just have it available for laboratories, for researchers. Because these are not the most accessible of things. I mean, there's a reason that IBM, with its very impressive quantum systems, quantum chandeliers, that they are actually making those freely accessible to people, because that to advance this stuff, that's what's necessary. To make this something that people can get their hands on and work with, and that's exactly the idea here. I'm trying to remember what else. Okay, it looks like it's just that's left, which is the major Steam update that was delivered this week. Which is neat. Lots of things that they did there, including... Hang on, let me... Here we go. Because I don't know what sharks and such are around. Let's just get going. Yeah, so this is the update that they've changed the framework that they're using, which is helpful for them because it means that the desktop client and Steam Deck client can actually use a similar code base, which is good because that does simplify their work. They'll be able to get more stuff done more quickly. But I hope it doesn't lead to them like pulling a Mac or even Windows, where they are like, yeah, everybody likes, this mobile interface. Let's start, making the desktop one look like that. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Microsoft was stupid to do it. Apple is stupid for doing it. No. You can have a consistent interface language without making the interface itself similar. That may sound incorrect, but it's not quite. I mean, think about it. You can... I mean, I'm playing a game right now that... I don't know if a mobile version was ever made, but you could have the same design language in there, and it would be recognizable as Far Cry 3. It's like that's what I mean. Even though you'd have to have a different design because... a different UI design, because controls and such would have to be different. Well, there was a way right there. Since you don't have a convenient keyboard with mobile. And I do mean like running on a phone, because this probably could be run on a phone. Alright. Let's also grab this, actually, since it's right here. But it's also this update that added the changes for this Steam overlay, where now you have notes that will be saved to your account. So, for example, in this game, because I do have it on Steam, I launch it directly via Ubisoft, the Uplay, because it's weird to try launching it through Steam. But the Steam overlay is going. I've got the FPS counter in the corner. But with the notes feature, I could say, like, for the next part, do this. Which, that's definitely handy. Not so much for this game, but there are others. I mean, yes, it is built into the game now, but Satisfactory, for example... Ooh, at 10, I should now have access to the shotgun, I believe. Yep. And my brain just turned off again. Yeah, it's built in, but the syncing across systems, thanks to the Steam account, that's nice. Although, true, the notes should actually be part of the save file. But it's also, you can access the notes from the client. You don't need to actually launch the game. That's nice. I haven't personally confirmed that, but it is in the changelog in the write-up that Valve shared. Another one there, so let's head over there, and then and actually hand us. Well, oh, okay. That's nice. Do that for a moment. Alright, the Ripper. 6 Trials of the Rocket. That's the LMG, and I would kind of like to do that. The Bushman, that I won't get for a while, because that's the every radio tower. And I am waiting until I actually, like, am sent to the lower half of the map. Still doing that. But I can try the Trials of the Rocket. I honestly don't know, because those are the multiplayer things. Oh wait, no, they're not. They are, well, they're leaderboard, but they're not multiplayer. So in theory, that's still gonna work just fine. I don't need to worry about competing with other people, really. It's just participate, it's not win. But going back to the Steam update, the overlay can now also have things like the notes, but other things as well, guides, web pages. So for example, instead of having to Alt-Tab, as I have been, to look at the web browser, I could use the Steam client's built-in web browser to the page that I'm looking at for this stuff. And yeah, could just have it actually pinned on the screen, like where it just told me what the relic was I picked up. Could have it pinned right there, could see it, and just work through it. You can also pin guides and forum discussions, Steam forum discussions, and even achievements. Which I guess that makes sense. It depends on the achievement and the developer. There are some achievements that are awesome where they do track live, but there's also some where they really don't. And it's really annoying sometimes that, I mean, like, one thing with that is kind of relevant here, each relic is specific. So, like, that was the Shark 1 relic that I just picked up. Let's see which one this is. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Heron 16. I like that because that's, great. Because if you get down to there's 3 I'm missing, you can look through that and look up the specific one. So if you hadn't found Heron 16, but you can see in the list of them, that's what's missing. Then it's like, great. I just need look up Heron 16. It's right here. Perfect. With that, I've kind of run out of things to talk about. I think last week it was either I could have talked about it last week. I just don't remember if I talked about it in this recording and some of the others I've been doing. Talked about continued video processing experiments with AB1, and boy does it depend on the content. So, for example, one of the movies I processed, and I already did it in 265, but I wanted to see if I could. I don't need it to look great. I want it to look good. But if I could get it to be a smaller file size, awesome. Is Spartacus. Which, did they ever remake that? Don't remember if they remade that or not, but the classic. With, oh man, I can see him. And the cleft in his chin. Kirk Douglas, there we go. Who's his son that's done a bunch of stuff? Now I have to look this up. Now get me there. Michael Douglas. That's the one that, like, was playing Pym, wasn't it? Yeah, Hank Pym in the Ant-Man movies. Well, in the more generically Marvel movies, yeah, that's his son. But that I tried. It's got a decent amount of film grain in it, but when I tried with AV1, I found, using my preferred encoder, the Ravel encoder, not SVT, at a setting, at a quantizer of 105 and a speed of 3, which it took, this is over a 3-hour movie, and it took 25 hours to process at that, but it was averaging like 2 megabit, which is pretty nice considering the X265 setting I'd used capped it at 3 megabit. So it came out about a gig smaller. Around 3 gig instead of 4 gig. Now 4 gig is still, I mean, I got a 3-hour movie that'll fit on DVD, on a single layer DVD. That's pretty nice. But still, pushing down a little bit further is even nicer. But other films, so I was working on Rashomon, Seven Samurai, Double Indemnity, Flight of the Phoenix too. That one actually surprised me a little bit. Working on those, they cannot be done in Ravel at the moment. Because Ravel doesn't have a max bitrate limiter yet. I look forward to when it does gain that. Here we go. SVT does, but I find Ravel, yes, it's slower than SVT, but I do find it superior. It does a much better job, in my opinion, at preserving quality and not pushing the bitrate super high. Because I'm sorry, some of the tests I've done with SVT, maybe it is coming out visually better than 265, but it's like I'm getting still slower speeds than X265 at the same file size. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't mind if it takes a long time to encode. Clearly, 25 hours for one movie. But if I want to be able to tune it so that it looks comparable and is smaller. If it's comparable but the same size, that's a waste of time. Or if it's larger and comparable, or larger and looks marginally better, that's a waste of time as well. So, but yeah, I had to do experiments to find that 105 was viable. At 100 it was starting to be a problem because there is enough noise in, well, enough film grain. I'll just generically call it noise because it technically is. But there was enough in Spartacus that even at 100 it would really start exploding the bitrate. But no, apparently 105 was just right. And I could have pushed it lower, but it would have started... when I was doing testing, I was seeing the difference. But yeah, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I do hope to see Ravel develop so not only that's faster, but have like a max bitrate kind of thing. Also, CRF. That'll be awesome. So, quick explanation of that. In lossy encoding, at least for video, there's the notion of a quantizer, which goes from low to high, and it's what it is a measure of how much information can be thrown out. So the lower it is, the less information thrown out, the more accurate. Yeah, I guess accurate is kind of a way to put it. The closer to the source it is. So if I did, say, a quantizer of 0 for Ravel, it goes from 0 to 255, I think? I don't quite remember, but if I did that at 0, it should be lossless. It might not actually be, I don't remember. Some encoders are quirky, where even if you tell it lossless, the nature of the encoder will still have it throw out information. I don't remember if that's the case with Ravel or any of the AV1 encoders, but I think there is at least one video codec that's like that. X264 maybe? I just don't remember. I don't think that is the case for X264 though. Because it is actually used for lossless when you set it to 0. Anyway, the quantizer though works basically frame by frame. Just how much information can I throw out, how much information can I throw out, how much information can I throw out, on and on and on. Buy it? Nope. Not doing that. Yeah, just do that. Don't... I was thinking about buying another, but I don't want to do that because I do want to be able to purchase others as I get them. Well, I should just say the sniper rifle when I get it. When I get access to it. Which should be soon, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can go there to get it, because I'm at 16 or 17, I just don't remember which. Anyway, with the quantizer, it is just like frame by frame. Kinda, you know, it's just a mathematical idea there. What CRF, constant rate factor, does is it applies psychovisuals, which basically, when something's going really, really fast, you can actually throw out more data, because you're less likely to catch any issue. The human eye is less likely to notice a loss of quality during such fast movements. The movement hides a lot, essentially. Whereas at slower times, in like now, you want it to have more bits added. So it's basically, by its nature, using a quantizer is variable bitrate, because it's just how much does it need after it's thrown out this much information. The CRF varies that. It varies how much information it can throw out based on, hey, right now things are moving so fast, we don't need all of that. We don't need to use as high a bitrate, so we can lower it here. Or at least don't... It will prevent it from just trying to throw a lot of bits at something moving really, really fast. I think it is still below me. I can't see it here. No, that is here. Alright, so I gotta figure out how to get down. But I am also afraid to. Because if I get down, but it is actually up here. It's like I should be standing up. I also don't see the chest anywhere, so... Alright, yeah, let's just head down. I'll worry about getting back up if I need to. Now SVT does have CRF there, and it's SVT is the Intel thing, and even though AOM, the Alliance for Open Media, that came up with AV1, has decided, yeah, use that for production, that's where we're going to focus our continued development, I don't find it to be superior. Even just X265, I don't see it. It can be, it's faster than other AV1 encoders, sure, but it's like I can get comparable or better speed with X265, and I'm not convinced that SVT is providing better quality. So yeah, you know, better quality for that bitrate. Okay. Maybe here? Looks promising. Yeah, there is some sort of cave entrance here. But one thing that I have found, and I have been experimenting with it, and it might just be because Ravel, maybe it doesn't have, maybe the grain synthesis isn't that great there, or it's just not working well enough. But it's just, I have tried, okay, I just need 2 more. I tried removing noise with FFmpeg from frames, from the video, and then using grain synthesis to come up with an impersonation of that noise on top. Because in theory you do that, and noise is what really... film grain, which is a kind of noise, is very hard to encode, to compress nicely. So if you can get rid of it and then just have it generated, synthesized at playback, then that can be a lot more efficient for file size. Now, it looks like the way Ravel does it is it has no built-in denoising, which I'm fine with that. SVT does, so you actually may want to turn that off. But then it also looks like SVT's, because you can, there's parameters you can set for the grain synthesis. It looks like, the hell was that? Oh. Hello. No, it looked like just when you are setting the grain synthesis level for SVT, it's either applying a different level of denoising, or it's just as I said, noise is hard to encode. So when you are limiting a bitrate, or when you're limiting bitrate, or you're limiting the quantizer, CRF, whatever, encoding will have a natural degree of denoising to it. So it might just be that, and then it's like, hey, turn this back on so it'll look closer to what the original was. That sounds great and all, but with Ravel, even turned up to the max, some of the videos I was testing with, actual films, the grain was in no way being recreated. I mean, it doesn't help that, some of these, like, you look at a movie like Rashomon or Seven Samurai, both excellent movies, by the way. Very large grains, very noisy in there. And I couldn't find a way that could sufficiently remove the noise. And I looking at the grain synthesis, I couldn't see it. And when I looked at it without any grain synthesis, it was like, this looks no different from with it. So it's like, is it actually doing anything? So yeah, it's one of those, it's a nice idea, but I am unconvinced it's actually doing anything. Now, true, that's with Ravel, because I'm not using SVT. Maybe its grain synthesis is better, but I don't like the idea of using that on classic movies. I can understand it for more modern movies where, well, technically digital cameras do also have, but an animated movie or animated television show, there doesn't need to be any film grain at all. Because if they're all made in computers, then that grain is actually being applied after the fact as something post-processing. And what AV1 with grain synthesis allows is basically to have that effect done at playback, so it's not in the video stream, which can save a lot of time with time and space with compression. Alright, that should have been it, right? I think I'm at, yep, 20. Perfect. Now I can get the AMR, if I can afford it. Well, okay, I'll do this first. And actually... Come on. Here we go. I don't need any of the skins, because the only ones I still need are the special ones. Did not mean to go that far back. Ah. What I want, though. Although, one issue is, I mean, it's powerful, but it is, not silenced. That's what I was trying to get to. The fact that I was silent while doing that is just ironic. So yeah, I could see that. But it's also one of those things where, and I know I've said this before, I just don't remember where all I've said it, that one issue with some of this work is it seems to very clearly be... Okay. The people making the codecs are not people familiar with film. Or movie production in general, or television production, but you know, they're not familiar with that. It's like the mathematicians that you're asking to do something that is artistic. No offense to mathematicians, technically I am one, but it's like there are so many things that you could be doing that would be tremendously beneficial. Because it's like, what is one of the effects that is used in so many films, basically any film medium, that is actually really, really hard to encode? The fade to black or fade transition. I'm serious, it is. Because the changing by going to black there is not easily encoded. Because it's like, okay, where's this information coming from? Where's it going? All that. But if you could instead, like with the film grain synthesis, have a fade synthesis where the video is not actually it does not actually fade out. It's stored in there without the fade, but it just tells the playback, hey, fade out this speed, to this color, such. I'm saying that would right there actually help. It would, but they don't do that. There's also, to my knowledge, they don't, with the grain synthesis, make it possible to change grain size during the film, which is also something that would be needed. Because it does change. And in theory, that's something you could also do at playback. Because generally, when it's a darker scene, you will see the film grain increase. The reason why is because, well, basic photochemistry. So the way the grains are what are actually capturing the light, and when there's less light, you want to use larger ones. Oh, come on. There we go. You want to use larger grains because they'll capture more light that way. So, like, if you've... A way to describe it that some may understand is if you've watched, like, a slow-mo guy's video or any video concerning slow motion, they will talk about, you know, it's like, we need more light. It's the same idea, because when you don't have much time, because slow-mo cameras, they go at a very high speed, so there's less time to collect the light. So you need either a lot of light or a very big sensor. The trend has not been towards very big sensors. It's, you know, well, yeah, it's just not towards that. So you instead just need to get a lot of light there. But my point was, you could, with grain synthesis, actually have it set up where it is... like, hey, this is a darker scene, we can expect that the grain would have increased, so synthesize larger grains. There we go. And you could do that. That is not unreasonable. What is it that gets me? Munitions. Okay. And I know I've got a skill point, I'm just not worried about it at the moment. Yeah, there can be other things as well that you could do those with too, where you could move effects into the encoder. Now, one catch is that is something that would need to be done at the authoring side. So, okay. Well, no, I'm not using the one provided at the site. Come on. I'm grabbing mine, because mine is better. And I should be good for doing that. There. I was like, it doesn't make me grab the provided bow, so of course it basically only is the one bow. Still, should be able to use this. Brain turned off again. Yeah, with the authoring. So it would be at production you need to say, hey, encode it this way, don't put it into the video. You couldn't have, say, FFmpeg just run on a file and be like, oh, it's there, and recognize that. Like if they were fade in this. You couldn't do that because the output is actually... the output would have it already encoded in there. It is more, though, that... like how in Spartacus and such, I pulled that off of a disk. It would be in the original file off the disk. And so when we're encoding, if I were using a codec that supported that, it could be like, okay, preserve that information and just encode the video behind it appropriately. So it's like, you know, you do have... it would still enable those things, the reprocessing, but it would be this is something that has to be done at certain stages and then only supported with certain Alright. Only supported with certain encoders then. Well, it would actually be part of the decoding. Where's... got one down here. But it is also... I mean, technically, something like that, a fade out, that's easy. It is not unreasonable that... an average Blu-ray player, for example, could support... well... average Blu-ray player hardware, I should say. Oh, wait, no, well, whatever, I'll keep it. I mean, we are talking about, you know, what would be like a AV2 kind of thing, or 266 or 267. Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh. We are talking about something that have to be there, which means you would need the player to support that codec. But it still is, like, adding that stuff in wouldn't... it's not like it's, oh, we need a new, faster processor for this. It's like, no, it'll work. Alright. By the way, how long have I been going? Almost an hour. This will be the last one, then. The last of these hunting. But I do want to continue doing this in the next part, so I'll make myself a note. I'll do that from Steam, though, not from in the game. Ah, crap. That wasn't much fun. Yeah, let's actually, because those things suck. Here, use that. There we go. Here. There's one. There. Still two, well, three more, I guess. Way to go. Here it is. Didn't realize it was that close to me. Yeah, one over there. Now, I guess it also doesn't make sense that you're not seeing, like, AOM doing things like that. Because it's like, who are their primary people? Primary partners? Things like, in places like Google, with YouTube, and Netflix. Well, I'm assuming Netflix was involved. I'm pretty sure they were. Like, these are places that are that would be reprocessing a lot of video, you know, especially YouTube. Somebody uploads it and they're reprocessing it. So something more advanced that's going to be hitting on the authoring side, it makes sense. They would not think about that. It's not among their concerns. Like, that's more amusingly, even though people will really insult it, that is a concern that MPEG has, the Motion Picture Encoding Group. Like, they are the ones that would actually be, okay, that would be doing all that. Disgusting. That would have that interest, and they are working on a 266. The versatile video codec. I've got no idea what that actually translates to. But I did see that apparently some research for it suggests that it may surpass AV1 in efficiency, which honestly should be expected, because it is going to work out as the newer codec. It's being worked on more recently. The question is, what would the rights situation be with it? Because that was something that really hurt 265's early adoption. I mean, at this point, it's no longer an issue. But with 264, there was a single group that held all the patents. Even if I'm not going to use it, I still want to buy it. Because it'll be fun. You know what? Actually, put it there. Oh, good. And I'll just, so we can admire it. Exploding bolts. Anyway. Yeah, we'll just have to see what comes of that. I do not know. Hang on, where do I set custom artwork? That's not properties, maybe? Huh, I don't know how you add a note from, oh, did they do, oh, that's annoying. I have to minimize every single collection, or collapse every single collection I have on Steam now. But yeah, 264 was, it was a single group that held that was created, a single corporation, essentially, that held all the patent rights. So that way, YouTube wants to use it, YouTube goes there to get the rights, and that's it. Simple as that. No, I want that one still open. The rest. Oh wait, no, not that. That one. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to add notes to it. Anyway, I can look into that later. Yeah, so 264 had like one place you had to go. 265, the patents were actually split between two, which was a problem because then if you wanted something, you needed to go between the two, and sometimes they didn't really communicate well. I mean, there were lots of issues. Um, but the patents, I'm pretty sure at this point have all expired on that, so it's no longer an issue. But even then, I think before they expired, YouTube was already accepting 265 on ingest, which does suggest it was that they did get the permissions they needed. Well, AV1 is also with AOM. It is a single patent holder, so anyone can use it. It's also supposed to be open, such that like anyone truly can use it and work on it. You know, being open source. Don't know with this 266 what the plan is there. Hopefully MPEG is, I'm pretty sure it is MPEG working on it. Here, let me check. VCC 266, that's really all I need to look up. Oh, wait, what? I guess it's more work being done on the encoders then, because apparently the standard was finalized in 2020, July 2020. But MPEG is part of the group working on it, or was. So just for some clarity on that, basically all codecs start. So what this is probably talking about that came out in 2020 is how to decode the video. Because it doesn't matter how you encode the data, it matters that you can decode it correctly to reproduce whatever it is. So that's how you have, you know, like the AOM reference encoder, the SVT AV1 encoder, Ravel, and there might be some others. Oh yeah, also the hardware-based encoders for AV1. All those encoders work probably on very different methods, work in different ways, have different optimizations, yada, yada, yada. But they can all be, what they produce can all be decoded the same. That's what the standard really is. One way I could think to put it is, it doesn't matter if you're doing 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4. Yes, I'm pretty sure I counted off 4 ones. Or if you're doing 2 + 2. Or if you're doing 2 + 1 + 1, 1 + 2 + 1, 1 + 1 + 2. It doesn't matter which of those you're doing. Those are the different encoders. You come out to 4, that's what matters. Because that's what needs to be decoded so that you get that so you get what the value is. Yeah, so it might be something like that where it is. Oh well, it's also there was a latest version just April of last year, so I'm not sure, but I didn't think that it was. I thought that there was still work being done on it. I'm seeing someone here talking about it just from January of this year. You know, that's also true. There are layers. So, like this, the MPEG 4 and H.264 are technically separate. H.264 is a separate layer of MPEG 4. So that's why you may see sometimes, if you look at documentation on Blu-rays, sometimes they refer to as just MPEG 4, sometimes they refer to as H.264, because there are some subtle differences. So maybe it's something like that where they're doing more work there. It's also like a MPEG 3. Well, sorry, no, there's no MPEG 3. MP3. I made that mistake, even though I was trying to talk about the point that they are in fact different. That actually stands for MPEG 1 Layer 3 audio. There's also MPEG 1 Layer 2 audio, MP2, that is noticeably worse than MP3. And AAC is technically MPEG 1 Layer 4 audio, as I recall. So maybe it's something like that I see VCC talked about, that it's they're working on additional layers there, like also adding higher resolutions, because that's also the case. MPEG 4 initially didn't support up to 4K, I want to say, but they extended it to support that, so that was another layer in there. I think they might have extended it to 8K, I don't remember, but 265, I think same thing, where they extended it to 8K or 16K. Because that's part of what makes these things actually very interesting, is they're not just we're done, moving on. It's done, and then it's like, okay, how can we keep improving this? What support can we add to it? to achieve various things. That's also why there's different profiles, like the main profile for 264 that basically everything can play. But there's also the high profile that today everything can play. But back when it first came out, not everything could. So that's why a lot of things, actually even today, are still authored at the main profile, but you can do high profile. I think, I'm not sure what it'll let me see. So I'm just looking at OBS. There's baseline, main, and high that I can set for the profile. It's set to none, so that should be auto. But it's probably actually running at main. And high will actually produce a smaller file. But it's like, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. At 10 megabit that I'm using here, because it matches my upload speed, it doesn't matter. If I were pushing this down to, say, 4 megabit, then it may make a difference. But I'm not doing that. I record at the bitrate I can upload at. Save some time. Alright, that's all I got. I know I've been talking on and on, but yeah, so I will next week continue to do continue to clear the map kind of stuff. To build up the signature weapons is really the idea, and also to unlock all the crafting stuff. Then I'll get back to the main mission. Sorry that that's technically kind of boring. And not progression. Well, it is progression, just not story progression. Anyway, see you then.